Everyone, and welcome to our final program set here at the Village Hotel. We hope you're having a wonderful time so far. Are you? You've certainly had a range of music, haven't you? There's been such a even just this evening, we began with Morten Gunnar Larsen playing that fantastic range of piano solos, and then we went on to the Clarence Williams, Sidney Bechet, Louis Armstrong, and Eva Taylor, extraordinaire. And now we have just heard Kid Ory done better than I've ever heard, that's for sure, by Charlie Halloran. What about Charlie Halloran? And he's just as nice as he seems on stage, I'll tell you that as well. Coming up now, you have something a little bit different. Again, you're going to hear the music of Roger Wolfe Kahn. He led his first band around the age of 16. He was on the cover of Time magazine at the age of 19. And he was a very, very kind of rich man. He was the son of millionaire banker Otto Hermann Kahn. And that sort of explains how he was able to make some money in the music industry. By the time he recorded most of the songs we're going to play for you today, he wasn't really part of the orchestra. It was just in name only, Roger Wolfe Kahn's orchestra. But he had really good taste in music, and certainly musicians. He was a particular fan of MIff, Joe Venuti, and Arthur Schutt. And everything he recorded was the best quality dance music you could get, with wonderful jazz influences. So we hope you enjoyed this program of Roger Wolfe Kahn's music. I doubt that it's ever been performed since. And we're going to begin with I'm Sitting on Top of the World. It was a #9 chart hit at the time, and you're about to hear why, I think. I'm Sitting on Top of the World, from Roger Wolfe Kahn and his Hotel Biltmore Orchestra. One, two, three. Roger Wolfe Kahn became interested in music. He had plenty of money to spare, as I said before, and one of the first things he did was buy an existing orchestra. And that led of Arthur Lang, or Lange, or Lange, I'm not sure. Americans maybe can advise me on my pronunciation. It's not Lange. After he bought the Arthur Lange Orchestra, he proceeded to generally kind of replace some of the players with some of his favorites, like Miff Mole and Joe Venuti, as I said before. But early on in the band's existence, they recorded this one. I suspect the sax solo at the end, or towards the end, is the only recording of him actually playing himself. He did play 18 instruments, according to his social media blitz at the time. But I think he was particularly a violin player, a ukulele player, and also a saxophone player. And this sax solo, I think that Lorenzo's going to play, might actually be him on that. But we don't know, and it's certainly very good, so it could be one of the professionals. Yeah. So Lorenzo, if you could try to play it slightly less well. This one's called Hot, Hot, Hottentot.
One, two, three.
After a couple of tunes, you might be getting a sort of an idea of what sort of sound the Roger Wolfe Kahn Orchestra had. He really enjoyed this hot, dance music style with a lot of vigor, but it's definitely not jazzy in the sense of, you know, one solo after another. There are solos like we just heard from Lorenzo, but it's very much for dancing and Charleston in particular. As such, the tempos are often quite similar. I don't apologize for that. It's late at night, we all need the energy, don't we? No more blues, we'll save that for the pub maybe. However, I have mentioned a little bit about the music, not a lot about the people playing it here tonight. I have a fine saxophone section with me, and as you can see, we have quite a lot of instruments. I think I'm winning. I've got 4, they've got 2 each. But I don't begrudge them that. The thing is, not so much how many instruments we've got, it's how quick the changes between them are. And often it's just a little bit too short a time. So enjoy that. You can see us trying to juggle these instruments. Later on I have to play the baritone while the alto is still around my neck. So sorry David if I scratch your baritone. He will like it better, that's true. Our brass section is a wonderful thing. We had Alistair Allan on the trombone before, but our main trombonist for tonight is none other than Mr. Mike Davis. Mike Davis is a wonderful musician, of course, and singer, and especially on the cornet, but you've all heard him doing that. We thought it was time to give you a chance to hear him really go to town on the trombone, and he's going to be playing all of the MIff moll solos tonight. And one of those is going to be on this next one, the Tap Tap. And we hope you like this one. I suspect this was arranged for them by pianist Arthur Schutt. Good luck, David.
All right, here we go. Only 3 on this one. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
What about our two wonderful soloists there? David Boeddinghaus on the piano. And Mike Davis on the trombone. We've also had Emma Fisk featured quite a lot earlier on, and she's back for more in these next few. Emma Fisk. We'll get to the others, we've got a lot of music to play. Okay, so this one is a favourite of mine. It's called Jersey Walk. It's nothing like the Lambeth Walk. At least I hope not. And yes, I'm struggling. Thank you very much, Natalie. Yes, thank you. Okay, so this one features, of course, more hot trombone, some interesting trumpet lead, and some baritone sax lead. Now, I need to actually kind of do the juggling here, so you know, if you want to laugh, look at the YouTube clip and you can rewind that section. You know? I suppose there are people here in person as well. Anyway, Jersey Walk, and on the record for this it says introducing the Little White House, and I think that's the melody that's the one that I'm going to be playing on the baritone, the Little White House, or maybe it's actually the Little White House. Sort of a little bit topical, isn't it? Anyway, Jersey Walk. I said before that we had a fine brass section. I didn't complete the job in introducing them. On lead trumpet with us tonight, Malo Mazurié. On trumpet 2, we have Andy Schumm. Roger Wolfe Kahn's band was for dancing and listening, but they always had a very danceable rhythm section, as well as Arthur Schutt. They had the finest Tony Colucci on banjo and all sorts of other great players. The tuba player, I forget his name, but he was one of the holdovers from Arthur Lange and his orchestra. It wasn't a guy who was doing a whole lot of other sessions, but he was very good anyway. Tonight we have a fine rhythm section too. We have David Boeddinghaus at the keys. It's a great pleasure of mine to play regularly with the masterful Martin Wheatley, banjo player extraordinary. Once a year I get to play with an equally wonderful tuba player, Phil Rutherford. And he's doing double duty here on all sorts of percussion and more to come. It's Mr. Josh Duffee. Coming up now, a composition by Arthur Schutt. There's a song by Jelly Roll Morton with the same title. It's called Pep. So it must be something about pianists and pep. I don't know. It sounds a little bit tiring to me, but we're going to play it anyway. It's called Pep, and it's going to require it. Do you have a solo in this? I don't think you do, David. I think it's probably Arthur Schutt sitting there and enjoying his arranging and making everyone else do the work for once. And we're going to do that for you now. You can enjoy it. It's called Pep.
Pep. Slightly too fast, everyone. Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to share a joke, or at least, maybe it's not a joke. Andy just leant over and said to us, "Dance Band Olympics." That's certainly how it feels. What do you think of this style of music? You say that, but a couple of people just walked out. I'd like to be serious for a second, and I know we're going to be mentioning Klaus a lot throughout the weekend, my dear friend and yours. And I'll say more about him when we're doing the Cecil Scott and Lloyd Scott set that he wrote the charts for, and I'll be taking over in his place. But one thing I did want to say, I was thinking earlier on when I heard someone mention him on the stage. For a lot of you, you're feeling the absence of Klaus Jacobi. For me, I did all of the programming with him. So everything that happens, all the combinations of musicians, all of the set ideas, the order of events, to me, it's like he's right here. It's a really interesting thing. So I can assure you, he's here with us in everything that you're hearing and all the decisions that we've made and all the pieces we're playing. Moving along, here's one that you usually hear played by some of the black bands in Harlem at a rather slow tempo. It was written by Arthur Sizemore and W. Earthman Farrell. Pause for laughter. However, on the record it just says Sizemore. I don't know, maybe they thought that was enough. So this one's from 1925 and it's called Down and Out Blues. It's not really that bluesy, it's more of another jaunt, Charleston. So make what you will of that. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. Down and Out Blues.
One, two, three.
Of all the music I've written for Whitley Bay in the past, these are some of the hardest charts. But there were some saving graces. As you'd expect from a man with plenty of money, he had a recording contract with one of the best companies, Victor. For many of these records were on Victor, some others were on other labels. But Victor was particularly good at recording large groups, and that's wonderful for me if I need to write out all the notes that they played. And it's still quite difficult because even though they're easy to hear, there's a lot of them, as you can probably hear. We're going to feature a few different people on this next one, but I want to again draw attention to Mr. Boeddinghaus. These solos are kind of pretty tricky, and occasionally we were talking about them, and we suspect it might be 4 hands, two players on the one piano. But with Arthur shut, it's hard to tell. You can never be sure. It might be one person. But thank you, David, for doing such a wonderful job on this. Okay, the next one features some auxiliary percussion from Josh Duffee. It's something I think he's qualified in. Have you had training in this one? Okay. Well, we'll see. If not, we're looking for perhaps auditioning another drummer for the next number, depending on how he goes. But I'm sure he'll be fine. What could go wrong? It's called Clap Your Hands.
By Gershwin. And Gershwin. One, two, three.
David, I think you managed to put something that was even harder than the original solo in there. That was amazing. Well done. Of course, you heard a little bit more of that hot trombone as well from Mike Davis. Thank you for doing this, Mike. And further, do you think you passed the audition, Josh? Usually he doesn't have to clap, people are doing it for him. I didn't prepare that beforehand, that was good. I'll keep it in though. Okay, so you might notice over there we have Martin Wheatley. He's gone over there to his guitar station. He's set up already, and that's because one of the guests that often featured with Roger Wolfe Kahn's orchestra was Eddie Lang. And he would come along and play some of those lovely duets that he played with Joe Venuti. And it's lovely that we've got them sitting over there together. On a stage of their own, one level down. Don't worry, their music will lift them up. But of course, that leaves a gap over here with the banjo. And we'd like to invite our award winner, Gavin Rice, to come and join us to take that. He just happened to have that suit in his suitcase. Is that Bobby Gillette's suit as well? No! Okay, so we've got a few tunes left for this set. We may even finish a little early, but let me tell you, if I'd written another one of these charts, I wouldn't be here tonight. We're going to do Just the Same. I really like this one, not only from the Joe Venuti and Eddie Lang duet, but there's some other lovely things like this sax soli, and I even get a solo. Most of my job here in this is Arnold Brillhart's lead alto chair, and he was a superb musician who went on to manufacture saxophone mouthpieces. And in fact, that's a Brillhart mouthpiece right there. And all these musicians all over the world played Brillhart mouthpieces, and they don't know anything about the guy. But he got a solo on this one, and I'm going to play the hell out of it. Just the same.
One, two, three.
okay. Yeah, I forgot about the trombone solo in that. But I'm not going to forget soon after that. Mike Davis, yeah, man. However, MIff Mole, favourite of Roger Wolfe Kahn and also, you know, studio band leaders everywhere, made a little error one day. He turned up late to a session. In fact, he didn't show up at all. And they were trying to get started, and there was no trombonist in sight. And they had a big trombone-shaped hole in the chart. There was a big solo. And someone said, "Oh, I know a guy. He might be still up in the morning, you know." And of course, they called him. And in walked Jack Teagarden, new in town, unrecorded, at least as a soloist. And he took MIff Mole's seat in the chair. And they recorded 2 takes of this next song. And each is a masterpiece, but the master take, the second take, I think it is something out of this world. I've listened to it all my, you know, musician life. I had a recording of it when I was a teenager, and I always thought, oh, that's great, Jack Teagarden, what a player. And then I wrote it out a month or 2 ago, and I couldn't believe how interesting and difficult and you know, just perfect this thing is. For a guy who probably, as I said, hadn't been to sleep and just turned up, probably looking terrible, he wasn't sounding terrible. And we thought, just to give that impression of a different player coming in to take the stand, we're going to temporarily do without Mike Davis and invite Alistair Allan to come in. He's a young chap who's, you know, we think he might make something of himself on the trombone. And so he's going to play Jack Teagarden's solo on this next one. It's called She's a Great, Great Girl. And of course we have more Venuti and Lang on this one too. Just the icing on the cake. Are you nervous, Alistair?
Well, just like Jack Teagarden, I've been up all night.
It's only 10:40.
Yesterday.
A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Well, we have time for one more, our 10th tune in this set of Roger Wolfe Kahn, and here's Mike Davis back. What about Alistair Allan? It's no time for rest for Alistair. He's going to feature on vocals on this next one, just like Teagarden. Well done. Okay, so this next one is the only one that comes from an original score of any of the things that I've done for this, I think ever for this particular jazz party. It's from the original manuscript. However, I then put it into the computer and changed it around so it was sort of a little bit easier to read and all that sort of thing. Also, I was missing a couple of parts and that sort of thing. But we're going to play, to finish up, Let a Smile Be Your Umbrella, from Harold Sturr, the tenor sax player in the band's original arrangement. You want to do some as well in arrangements? Yeah. Okay. Next year, maybe. Okay, so before we finish, let's thank everyone on the stage. Over in the string department, we have Emma Fisk and Martin Wheatley. As well as Alistair, we have Mike Davis on the trombone. And the trumpets, Malo Mazurié and Natalie Scharf. It's a dream to play with these two sax players, Lorenzo and Natalie. David Boeddinghaus on the piano. Rutherford on the tuba. Passing his audition yet again is Josh Duffee. And our special guest on the banjo, Gavin Rice. Okay, here's Let a Smile Be Your Umbrella. We'll say goodnight with this one, but, we're not really. We'll see you in the pub in a moment, won't we? Hope you enjoyed this Roger Wolfe Kahn music. It's been a treat to play it for you all.
One, two, three.
Just let a smile